All right, week 6 college football breakdown here. Really intriguing matchup here in the ACC. North Carolina traveling to Hard Rock Stadium, taking on the Canes of Miami, seeing the Hurricanes, even amidst that embarrassing loss at home a few weeks ago to Middle Tennessee State. Still the 3.5-point favorite here at home in this spot. Very high total as well at 66.5. When you do this every day, when you look at these numbers every day, you realize that sometimes the sports books are telling you where they lean. My estimation of this game, everybody knows what happened to Miami a few weeks ago. Everybody knows how much of a clunker they laid. I'm not saying it's the right side. The sports books want you to hammer North Carolina here. That's why they're giving you 3.5. That hook is trying to draw you in. And this is actually a little bit higher at 4.5. So perhaps there has been some North Carolina money. Clearly, they think Miami is the right side. And listen, I don't always think that way. Like, oh, what is the sports book trying to tell me? I look at matchups first, but this is pretty glaring to me. And really, it's not that hard to see why, actually. North Carolina's defense sucks. I know they look good against Virginia Tech last week. I think that has more to say about Virginia Tech than it does North Carolina's defense, because App State moved the ball up and down the field on this Tar Heels defense. Georgia State had a pretty good day. I know they only put up 28. It didn't feel like 28. They were having a lot more success than that, and definitely left some plays on the field. Notre Dame just eviscerated this North Carolina defense. So if those three teams can do it, I can see a world where Tyler Van Dyke and some of these Miami pieces, can kind of bounce back and finally break out the way people thought they were going to this season. With that being said, maybe Miami is just not a very good team. I didn't think they were going to be all that relevant in the ACC coming into the year. Tyler Van Dyke played really well last year, but it's a new system. And Josh Gaddis, I wouldn't say, has the best reputation as a coordinator. I do think Miami's gotten better in the running category from where they were a year ago. I think they're more physical up front. But, I've talked a lot about I don't like this wide receiving unit. We've seen really all season that they haven't exactly helped out those quarterbacks, especially Van Dyke. Like, just go watch the highlights of the A&M game. Really kind of stunk it up. So I think we'll find out a lot about Miami here. Just how long is this thing going to take for Mario Cristobal? Because this is a defense in North Carolina that you should be able to have success against, especially with a guy like Tyler Van Dyke. I think it'll be interesting to see, how North Carolina is able to move the ball against this Miami defense. I didn't have, glaring concerns about Miami's defense coming into the year. I will say, still don't like their secondary. And we saw them, that was really the area that got them toasted against Middle Tennessee State. I mean, they allowed over 25 yards per completion. That is hard to do. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. With 25 attempts, 25 yards per completion is crazy. I do think they can stop the run in this game, and North Carolina is pretty vulnerable up front, really on both sides of the ball, especially their offensive line, though. So I can see why we're getting a 3.5 here. I just don't feel good enough about Miami to put my money where my mouth is when I say that. But I do think Miami is the sharp side, and I want to say it again. I'm not always the guy that's looking for those sort of angles, but this was pretty glaring to me when I saw this line. I have a pretty good feeling that the sports books I feel like Miami's going to take care of business here. So that's the only way I could play this game. Don't have a great feel on the total. Do think North Carolina is pretty much an over team because Drake May is a good quarterback. He's got weapons. And North Carolina can create explosive plays, but that defense sucks. So I think 66.5 is probably kind of priced you out of betting the over. So it's Miami or nothing. All right, guys, before we get out of here, I know you see the shirt right here, going with the Miami Vice theme today. If you're looking for some new golf apparel, head over to proud90.com. Unique but very comfortable polos. It's colder weather coming. They've also got hoodies and quarter zips as well. Proud 90's got all your golf apparel needs, so browse their selection. If you see anything you like at checkout, use code Fordham. It's going to get you 15% off your order. That's code Fordham at proud90.com. Is going to get you 15% off your order. Support me, support Proud 90. The rest of the information will be in the description below.